helping LGBTQ students transition from school to the workforce. That's what we're talking about right now, specifically about an organization called Start Proud. The co-founder, Michael Velcic, and U of C professor Saul Templeton are both here this morning. Michael, first of all, so for people who don't know about Start Proud, it started initially with a different name, right?
Correct. It's an organization that started in Toronto called Out on Bay Street, and they've taken the initiative to expand nationally and rebranded themselves as Start Proud.
Start Proud. And you were saying there's a chapter here in Calgary, Vancouver,
Ottawa,
yeah.
Toronto, and Montreal.
And Montreal, okay. And Saul, a professor at the U of C, teaching tax policy in the U of C's School of Law. What's your story and what's your connection to Start Proud?
Well, so for me, I started working at the U of C when I was presenting as female, so I'm transgender, and I transitioned from female to male while teaching tax law at the University of Calgary. But what that gave me was like just a really obvious insight that we have a gap in terms of support for our LGBT students at the U of C, at least in the Faculty of Law, because we're one of the only law schools in Canada that doesn't have a chapter of Outlaws, which is the LGBT Law Students Organization. So we finally have some students who are looking at starting a chapter here, and so it's perfect timing. They've networked with Michael, with Start Proud, so it's an opportunity for us to start a support for law students that can now also be tied to the larger organization, Start Proud, to network with the broader business and professional community.
We have details of an upcoming event. It's on Wednesday of next week. We'll get to that in a few seconds. But Michael, I want to kind of pick up on what Saul's saying here. There is a need for this, right? There is a need to help students.
There's a lot of students that have questions about how do you put gay on your resume?
Sure.
Do you conform for the first 3 months when you're employed to get past probation and then become yourself, or do you completely conform and never come out? So a lot of students have these questions. So Start Proud, their mandate, our mandate, is to focus on the transition of student to young professional. We want to be a support group. We want to provide resources as well. We've partnered with over 40 corporate partners, such as RBC, which is our title sponsor for next Wednesday, KPMG, Deloitte, Accenture, Procter & Gamble. All these companies have come out to promote and say that we are inclusiveness, we want diversity, we want to hire LGBTQ plus individuals. So our mandate is to provide this information to the students, let them know that these are companies that you can not conform to, but resonate with. These are companies you can be who you are and aspire to be what you want and not have to have those fears or restrictions that you think that you are going to face going into the professional.
This must have been, must be invaluable then for anyone who's needing some help like this, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I've already heard from students who are having concerns about whether to disclose to potential employers or not, and really concerned that it might impact their ability to even article. So once they've articled, a lot of LGBT people will be entrepreneurs and go out on their own. But it's really getting that first articling position and how do you navigate being LGBT and trying to get past that hurdle that's the challenge for our students.
And often it is the first step that's a challenge, right? And that's where Start Proud must be so great in the networking and the marketing side of things.
Absolutely, and just a lot of students don't have the resources or the support, or they don't know. And that's why we want to be there.
Sure.
We want to be their support. We want to provide the network. We want to provide young professionals that have gone through what they have to be support for these students. We want to kind of recycle all of that support and knowledge.
This is great. Wednesday is the event. It's March 1st, next week. It's called the Calgary Careers Panel and Networking Event. It's happening at Bankers Hall from 6 until 9 p.m. We have more information on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Saul.
As well, I just want to say as well,
Yeah.
like, registration for this event is free.
Free,
It's sponsored by RBC,
Yeah.
but there is a limited capacity, so you have to go online and register. You can find us on Facebook by searching for Start Proud Calgary or startproud.org, which has information about the entire organization, our corporate sponsors, our mandate, everything.
Startproud.org and Start Proud Calgary on Facebook to get the kind of details you need. Thank you again, guys, for coming.